Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Happy new moon in Virgo. It's a few days past the new moon as I'm recording this. Happy September. But you know, we are just coming out of the Mercury retrograde shadow period and it's back to school. If you're new here, my name is Timil and I am a leadership coach, a spiritual advisor, and a multidimensional healing artist. And I am my mom. I have 3 kids and back to school is very active for us. And even just last night, I was at the DPS getting my son his learner's permit so he can start preparing for his driver's license. So many things to do. Very, very Virgo, very, very task oriented. I also have a new deck that I picked up at an indie bookstore to get my other son one of his books that he needed for his English class. It is called the Talisman Oracle and we're going to be using it. Not going to be using today and probably not even in the extended, but I also got Tarot for You and Me, a queer deck and guidebook, words by Gary DeAndre, which is the author of this deck and a Black mystic, and I'm really excited about it because it's like thick, like the box, and so I can't wait to open it. I may do an unboxing video. So, but the Talisman Oracle wanted to be used today. So, I'll just share kind of what's been coming up, and not only is it back to school for my children, have a little bit of a life update. I am starting my master's program at McCormick Theological Seminary. I am studying basically public theology, and it is in the Sacred Memory cohort designed by Dr. Mama Itihari Torre. And I'm really, really excited. I'm honored to be participating and getting my MTS at McCormick. And so I also have been having like orientation and things like that. So yeah, it's a time. It's a time. Grounding, very Virgo. Something that came up on the day of the new moon in my meditation, as I talk about sacred memory, which is the work that we've been doing here together for all these years, honestly. So it's really kismet. It's really great. But something that's been coming through for me a lot, which I kind of talked about in the Saturn retrograde video, was remembering things from our ancestral past, particularly as it pertains to Pisces, which is our spiritual selves, our multidimensional selves. And I have been getting downloads in other languages, like always, but these are more poignant, more ancestral conversations, more indigenous spirituality conversations that I've been having with my ancestors and with my higher self. And something that came through on Monday on the new moon in Virgo was kind of like a proverb. And it may be one already, so that's why I'm saying that, because it sounded like a proverbial wisdom or like an old saying. And the ancestor who shared it with me did say it in a West African voice, although they spoke it to me in English. And they said, the bitter herb does not covet honey. No, the bitter leaf, sorry. The bitter leaf does not covet honey. And so one thing that I wanted us to do today is kind of look up the benefits of the bitter leaf, mainly because that's what I'm guided to do, but also because I talked about detoxing or anti-parasitic detox and diet in the Saturn retrograde video. And so bitter leaf may be an ally to us. I also talked about picking a 30-day period for a kind of reset on our diets. Not necessarily like a full fast or a full cleanse for 30 days, but Virgo season, particularly the rest of this Virgo season, will be really supportive if we do decide to do that. And so bitter leaf can help us. So The first card we got is grounding, and there's an anchor. How many more cards, Spirit? Okay, so this moon is really about grounding us in preparation for the eclipse that is happening in Libra. This deck is awesome. Okay, I'll show you why. So happiness is at the bottom of the deck, and I really like that. And what is the key to happiness, right? And what is the thief of joy comparison? So for the ancestors to come through saying like the bitter leaf does not covet honey, you may be unique, you may have a specific taste, you may be an acquired taste. Your taste may never be acquired, okay? Most people don't like bitter leaf, they just eat it. Or they just take it because they know it's good for them. And that is what Virgo represents. Virgo is about actually the digestive system, one of the things that it rules and it gives its medicine to. So the purification of your heart as well, and how to be lighter in spirit, is to focus on yourself. If Virgo finds great joy in personal mastery, right? And as we look within, as we focus on ourselves, as we recognize what gives us our radiance, we can kind of feel, even going into this fall and winter season, some joy returning to us as we release attachments from things that we were told we should desire, we were told that we should want, we were programmed and taught to believe our life should look a certain way. And we start to look around and recognize that a lot of those things may have brought us misery, a lot of those things may have brought us strife. And it may not have been the pursuit of those things themselves, but just the misalignment or the misunderstanding or the overinvestment, the over-identification in those things, and most certainly the over-attachment, right? And so the suffering is coming from the attachment to the outcomes. And so spirit is, restoring. There is an ability to restore a sense of greater joy when you go within and do the work, which we kind of talked about, the Source of Self-Regard video of valuing the self. And that does take grounding work, anchoring work. It does take getting into the body, listening to the body, asking yourself what you need. The next cards that come, we are going to do in the extended because it's giving us a preview into what we can expect on that eclipse, but we have union, and I'll show them to you. We have karmic justice. So if you can see the scales, the pairings, Libra is about relationships and contracts. And if you also see the yin yang and like the dualism and the black and the white here, this is showing, that balance, the eclipse energy, right? And then intuition. So let's see what this deck says for grounding and happiness. And then we will close. Oh, I love it. So it's very instructional. Does it have a concordance? No. So we are gonna have to just flip through because it doesn't look like it's an alphabetical. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, grounding, happiness, grounding. Okay. The anchor in this card represents grounding and stability. A long-awaited relationship, position, or financial compensation will become permanent. Ashe. You can now ease your mind and focus on the desired security. This card can mean finally seeing the light after a challenging period. The stormy weather is over and you can now adjust to the new steady pace in life. Don't be afraid to take a chance, but choose the option with long-term beneficial results if the opportunity arises. So, we will go deeper in the extended. If you don't feel like you are in that place, we can talk about how we can get to that place and what Spirit is asking of you right now through this grounding to get you to that place. Okay. And then happiness. It's time to appreciate life with a bright and positive outlook. We all go through difficulties, but when the waters are finally still, we can fill our hearts with gratitude and radiate the joy from what we have accomplished. Cherish every moment and shine brightly. The flower in the center of this card is soaking up the abundant positive energy from the two suns and forms nourishing the delightful seeds. Practicing mindfulness and inner gratitude can open up a new world for you, full of compassion, love, clarity, and joy. Radiate your energy and share your gifts with others. Receiving people's help can bring you as much happiness as helping others. Don't be surprised if joy becomes contagious. And I love the duality that I'm already seeing in this deck, because it's showing you that you honestly have to stop seeing things so through a binary, because two things can be true at the same time. And if you pour it out, it may be time for you to receive, right? And it isn't always about doing things the same way. It's about being on the other end of a challenge or on the other end of a spectrum, so that people can also play their part and play their role, so that we can have this great balance in relationship and community. So I love y'all so much. If you are not a client, you can become one by joining the guidance membership. When you do that, you get access to detailed readings and coaching and extended messages, normally around the new and the full moon, unless we have other transits, or just I get a download to do a special channeling. So love you so much. See you there.